Ball player, crib in the Himalayas. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy CoolStoryBrobat, and I've made a mistake! What's new though, right? So, over the course of this past week, I was thinking about this match I had with Badabing that for round 1 that I had, and I was thinking about the one that I uploaded, and in my brain, something was off. Something was off even when I was recording it, but I don't know why it didn't click with me until several days after, like almost a week after I uploaded it. That match I had that I uploaded that I said was Badabing, that was actually another guy completely different. That was my round 2 match that I said I wasn't gonna upload. This is my actual match with Badabing that I did for round 1. Ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, this is Badabing here. This is really my game 1 match against him for UU Open 2017. He's on an account called Foul Player. Now, I am using the same team that I used in the video I said I uploaded. The Island Spices team. The Island Spices cool guy. He made this team. He had me use it. Very offensive team. Mega Pidgeot, Scarf Latias. Defensive Primarina. Great sponge. You know, takes great advantage of its water fairy typing defensively, and you know, capitalizes on it heavily by being a great switch into a lot of threats. Bulky offensive Caesar. Adamant with some bulk, not max attack, but like about a decent amount of attack. I'm not gonna spoil you on how much, because y'all need to know that right now. Defensive Swampert and Rocky MZ Swords Dance Terrakion. This team capitalizes on bulky offensive builds, especially ones to use like Alamola plus Blissey, and it manages to break through stall, and still uses things like Scarf Latias and Mega Pidgeot with its great speed to break offense. Now, Badabing's team here is interesting. He has Alamola offense. Just by slapping Alamola onto your team, you can extend a match by up to 30 turns on its own. Crazy. Now, his team is pretty scary looking. Like, Rotom Heat looks kind of like a nuisance because it checks Pidgeot, you know, it checks Caesar. Primarina don't like it, and Swampert hates being burned, but it can answer it. And Conkeldurr is a threat. Weavile's also annoying. Whenever I face Alamola, it's always annoying to play around. I have to find some way to cripple it immediately. So my ability to do that is going to determine whether or not I'm going to pull this out. So I lead off with Swampert. He leads off with his Rotom Heat as I expected. I decide to get up my rocks as he's forced to go to his Caesar. He U-turns as I switch to my Caesar afterwards on his Caesar. He goes to his Conkeldurr, gets that Flame Orb damage. I noticed that my Caesar outspeeds his Conkeldurr. Now, usually Conkeldurr runs like max speed or something around that if it's Flame Orb, but my Caesar in all its 12 speed glory outsped that Conkeldurr, and that's gonna come in handy later. So that shows me he's like max HP. Anyway, some things happen. He goes to his Caesar on the Moonblast for my bulky Primarina. Obviously, it's bulky Primarina, so he hits like all day. Gets the Scald off on the Caesar, gets a burn. I'm rubbing my hands together like Birdman, because I'm like, yeah, one threat crippled. He goes to his Alamola, and this is where things get interesting, and this is where the factor where I said it can extend to battles by up to 30 turns, this is where this is going to become relevant. Okay, not yet, but soon. So he goes to his Alamola, takes the Scald, it gets burned, he switches into his Rotom Heat on the predicted Moonblast, takes a nice chunk from it. He's lucky I didn't click Scald again. I wasn't expecting him to go to Rotom Heat, honestly. Ambitious play, but he was rewarded by forcing out my Primarina. I go to my Swampert as he brings in his Alamola. I click Roar as he brings it in, so it forces Weavile out. He switches Weavile out, goes back to his Alamola. I'm gonna withdraw. I go back to my Primarina because it's a great answer to Weavile. And I guess it's fine to keep this in on Alamola. You know, Alamola is naturally faster. It's like base 65 compared to Primarina's base 60 speed. And because I'm uninvested, this Alamola is actually going to outspeed me, which is kind of annoying to see a Primarina get outsped by this thing, but it happens. He hits me with the Toxic. I'm fine with that. I really don't care because I'm Rest Talk, so I mean I can sit here all day in front of this thing. But like I said, Alamola, just by virtue of having one, extends your battles by so many turns. Now this is an interesting play here. He catches me with a Whirlpool. He's not running Skull, but he's running Whirlpool. And during the battle, Killing Time himself, another player, had asked, you know, would this Whirlpool Alamola specifically trap in UU? And to this day, I still don't really have an exact answer, because I honestly don't know. I mean, for what it looks like to me, it seems like Whirlpool was his move to keep a switch in from being able to switch out for another turn as he gets momentum. So I'm thinking in my head, it kind of would work like Fairy Lock or like Anchor Shot, you know, like they hit you with Whirlpool, you can't switch out, then they switch out, and then you can't switch out until after he does. So it gives you some form of switch initiative, even if it's only for a single turn. But that's really all I could think of, because I mean, other than that, Whirlpool's just annoying with the chip damage. I mean, in theory, between Toxic and Wish Stalling, I guess you could really harass mons like Blissey if they don't have like a heal bell. But the only issue is Whirlpool only lasts for a few turns before they can switch out. So it's not like you're going to be racking up a ton of damage between Toxic and Whirlpool on some like a Blissey, I guess, anyway. But whatever. Okay. Alright, look. As you can tell here, I've gone on a tangent because this part of the battle is not interesting enough to narrate. This is basically me trying to shoot the dozens with this Alamomola with my Primarina and noticing that it's actually going absolutely freaking nowhere. Like, I think I've gone through a cycle of 2 rests in Sleep Talks, some Moon Blasts, and I've pretty much done jack all. I think I've gone to rest another time here because, you know, I'm realizing I don't want my Primarina to be toxic, but I also can't switch out at the moment because I am trapped by Whirlpool. But, you know, this is still going in circles, and I'm pretty sure after this exchange, once I wake up my Primarina, I'm going to probably switch out or something. Because now that I know this Alamomola lacks Whirlpool, my mons like Terrakion, my mons like Caesar become a big threat now. Especially Caesar, because his only real answer to Caesar is that Rotom Heat, and possibly Glasgow. You know, Conqueror, I mean, a +2 bullet punch is gonna hurt. He is max HP, so he can eat it. But I go to my Caesar here, predicting that Toxic, and I'm gonna get that SD off here. I'm gonna get that SD off here. I'm not scared of this Alamomola. Now that I know what you're cooking with. Now that I know what you're cooking with, you're about to get cooked. So, he's gonna switch in his Rotom Heat on my Caesar. I'm gonna U-turn. Obviously, a +2 bullet punch ain't gonna do enough to this, and I know he's gonna go to his Rotom. So I just hit it the U-turn, go to my Swampert. You know, he's gonna Toxic my Swampert, which is pretty annoying, honestly. I wasn't expecting that. That's very annoying, unfortunately. He's gonna Pain Split, get a bunch of HP back off my Swampert. I'm gonna click Roar. I wish I clicked Scald there, because this Roar brings in Conqueror, which is a big threat now, and I have to make a prediction and hope that my Primarina don't get facaded on. But he actually went for Drain Punch, and I was more willing to let Latias take a big blow to Primarina, so I go to my Latias. It takes the Drain Punch, the critical hit puts like 2/3 of its health away. I use Trick hoping he could go to like Alamomola or something, but he goes to his Caesar. I trick my Scarf away. I don't need my Scarf anymore, honestly, and I guess it kind of helps with Alamomola because I'm no longer locked into one move. But it brings in Weavile and it pursues my face, and because I stole a Rocky Helmet off that Caesar, interestingly enough, it actually comes back to hurt the Weavile more. So we get some more shenanigans going on as I go to my Primarina to revenge kill the Weavile. He goes to his Alamomola again. I'm not trying to play that game, so I'm going to go to my Terrakion as I predict him to go for Protect. I'm going to set up the SD on this thing, and I'm like, perfect. Perfect. He's going to his Glasgow. This is food right here. This is food right here. But he hits me with the Protect. He predicts the garbage out of me. I was going for my Z Stone Edge. Sure, it hits through Protect. It did a whopping 35% to him through Protect, and that's only at 25% of its real power. But the regular Stone Edge, after all that, manages to finish out the Glasgow, so I guess mission still accomplished, right? He pursues my Terrakion as I'm switching out. Dang, I mean, it's free chip damage for this Weavile, and it's choice band Weavile by this point, obviously. He can't get rid of my Stealth Rock, so Weavile strong death fodder. I don't know why I ain't Moonblast here. I was predicting Rotom Heat to come in, I guess. I was predicting Rotom and felt like Scald was not a bad play. Now, a Moonblast here as he goes for Wish because I want to force him to have to click Protect. He's not going to want to switch out. He's going to want to hit Protect. For the love of God, I don't know why I didn't capitalize on that switch. Everything in me told me he was going to stay in. But just in case, I go for the Scald because I'm not trying to let him get that Rotom Heat. So I go for Moonblast again, knowing he's got to protect himself at all times. I switch out here. I go to my Terrakion. I'm trying to wrap this up, man, because this game is going on for 45 turns. This is ridiculous. But just because I say I'm trying to wrap it up does not mean I'm about to wrap it up. I set up the Swords Dance, I take the Whirlpool. Whirlpool doesn't do a lot of damage because Alamomola has garbage special attack. However, the chip damage does kinda hurt. It does kinda hurt, especially on a weakened Terrakion that he got chip damage off of. So, he's gonna sack his Weave out here. Now, as I go for another SD, crazy play right there, but it doesn't matter because he's gonna go to his Conqueror. I obviously don't want to waste my Terrakion, so I go to my Pidgeot. Now here's a play. Here's a play for the ages here that extends this battle by another 15 turns. I freaking let my Pidgeot get pieced up by Mach Punch. Here's the thing. It was a roll. Okay, the Mach Punch was a roll. It was like a 50-50 roll just about as to whether or not it would kill, because Pidgeot does get a slight defense boost upon Mega Evolving. However, it was not enough. It wasn't enough. I straight should have just went to my Primarina on his Conqueror, but I was scared that I might get flexed on by a Facade and put this game completely out of reach. But that's what I did. I let my Pidgeot go down when I didn't have to, and that's unfortunate because, you know, a boosted Pidgeot at +1 would have been able to put this game under wraps. So we have to do it like this instead. Basically, I know how to shoot the dozens with my Primarina up against this Alamomola, this Conqueror, and this Rotom Heat. I mean, don't get me wrong, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, Primarina's got this. Primarina and Scizor got this. It's nothing. I can still take it. This finna be a breeze. I just gotta play it out. But that Conqueror is still a threat. Rotom Heat is still a nuisance. So I have to watch carefully. Like, I go for the Swords Dance here. Now, obviously, I don't want to waste it. So I'm gonna switch out on this Rotom Heat to my Swampert. He makes a mad prediction. Goes to his Conqueror on me, trying to get that leverage on me late game. I go to my Primarina knowing I can take a Facade at the very least. Now, like I said, I know that this is max HP Conqueror because my Scizor outsped it earlier. So that typically a situation where my Primarina would be losing, my Primarina actually would outspeed this thing, and it would be safe to click Moonblast. He's forced to have to go to Alamomola here. So that comes in favor to help me. I go to my Scizor as the Alamomola tosses up a Wish. He's going to go to his Rotom Heat. Obviously, he's going to try to heal it. I'm U-turning, getting the momentum. I go to my Terrakion here because now something needs to die. I go for the close combat. He gets a critical hit. Kind of unfortunate because he would have lived that and probably killed me with a Volt Switch. But, you know, I was thinking I could have Stone Edge. I didn't want to Stone Edge because I didn't want to risk missing and then getting embarrassed for it. So I just went for CC and just hoped that, you know, letting Scizor set up on Alamomola would have been able to keep the game in my favor. But either way, the Rotom Heat was dead. So it's Alamomola versus Primarina and Alamomola and Conqueror versus Primarina, Scizor, Swampert. This is looking like it's heavily in my favor. This is looking like basically now I just have to ride these last couple of turns out. Just not let him heal that Conqueror up for free. You know, just keep Moon blasting away at this guy. I mean, the Alamomola's been burned for like 50 years straight. I mean, yeah, he gets the Toxic off on me. And it's kind of annoying because it's going to inevitably force me to use Rest here eventually. But really, it's just a matter of getting my Scizor in, getting that Swords Dance up to +2, and just murdering him. He hit that Protect here as I switched out, and that's pretty much going to be all she wrote, my friend. That's going to be all she wrote. Scizor gets the +2 up. I am adamant. I hit hard as bricks. So this Bullet Punch is going to hurt this Conqueror, even if he is max HP. He forfeits because Alamomola obviously ain't doing nothing to my Scizor, and that is good game, Badabing. That was game 1. That was the real game 1. The game 1 that I remember. The game 1 that I remember actually being a struggle. So, you know, I'm feeling kind of confident that I won my first UU Open game here. But, you know, game 2 still lurking around the corner. I don't know what this guy's going to bring. I don't know what he has in store yet. Because what I do know about Badabing, I know that he's not a UU main player, but he is an OU guy. But he's a very good player. And the fact that I got matched up against this guy round 1 just kind of like gave me chills. But after getting that first game out the way, you know, I got a little bit of the tension off, a little pressure off. I got relieved now. So I'm hoping that in game 2 I can start making some better plays that don't extend the game by like 30 something turns. So let's see how that goes. Game 2. Alright, so game 2 in the series. Some things to take into consideration. One, Badabing's connection or something has been acting really weird this game. Like, I mean, on top of how long it took in game 1 just off those several turns alone, it was on top of the fact that even though he was the one who set the timer, towards the end of that match, he was starting to take his good old time making some of them plays, man. Like, that timer was going down to like 30 seconds almost every turn, you know. At one point, it had actually gotten down to 10 seconds, and I was hoping that it would run out just so I could get a cheap win off in game 1. Another thing to take into consideration is he's using the same team that he used in game 1. Now, it's a possibility that he might have tweaked some EV spreads. Like, he could have put some speed on his Conqueror, he could have done some random crap like put a new move on Weavile or something. Who knows? The team I'm using here is another team Island Spices had given me. This team has some components that are similar, but some things that are very different. Like, for instance, the same adamant bulky Caesar with Swords Dance, a Pursuit Mega Aerodactyl, Flame Orb Conqueror, Big Threat, same defensive Primarina bulky with Rest Talk. I don't have any speed, so Alamomola is unfortunately going to still outrun me. Scarf Latios with Defog, just like the last team, and Groundium Z Crocodile with Stealth Rock and Taunt. What I like about this is Crocodile is able to get some serious chip damage off on a lot of threats that would typically like switching in on it, such as Swampert for instance. But one thing I do notice is this team Island Spices gave me a Swords Dance Caesar. Now, Badabing's team looks like it has a Defog Caesar, which is bulky Defog, so I don't think I have to worry about it. But in some weird instance, if he's like randomly bulky Swords Dance, I have to look out for it, because as Caesar tears up my Aerodactyl, my own Caesar does nothing to it. Latios gets destroyed, and Crocodile can only put a hole in it. So what I have to do is play aggressively. I mean, sure, I have counterplay to an opposing Caesar, but if I let it set up early and it were offensive, it's a problem. Even bulky variants would be a problem, so I have to take advantage of Crocodile's ability to put holes in it early game, and then try to just keep the pressure up on Caesar. But other than that, I think my team, between Conqueror, Primarina, and my own Caesar, I think it's going to be a breeze otherwise, outside of that Caesar. So how well this is going to go is just how well I can play around that and what Caesar said he is. So I lead off with my Crocodile. He leads with his Glass Score. I do have taunts on this thing, but because he revealed Protect last game, I thought he'd go for that this game. Instead, he just goes straight for his rocks. I go straight for my rocks. So darn, kind of annoying because I could have kept hazards off my side for a little bit longer and had the momentum. But instead, I'm just gonna have to succeed it here. Now he goes to his Conqueror. As I U-turns to his Conqueror, I have to go to my Caesar. So I realized that the Conqueror is still slower than my Caesar, which means it's still slower than my Primarina. So he has to switch out because he does not want to take this Moonblast to the face. However, I realize how big of a threat Primarina is to him, so I'm going to click Rest here. I'm going to click Rest, and I'm going to try to go for a Sleep Talk, hoping I can pull a favorable move out. He's going to U-turn, go to his Alamomola. I'm not going to try to shoot the dozens with this thing again. I learned my mistakes from game 1 that Alamomola and Primarina is just, they both kind of sit there. So I go to my Conqueror, you know. But what I don't realize is that even though Whirlpool itself is weak, between hazards, the little damage from Whirlpool, the Flame Orb damage, and the damage from Whirlpool itself afterwards, that's a lot of chip damage. I mean, that's a lot of chip damage. Sure, a Drain Punch on this Alamomola heals me back to full health, but look, I'm losing about a quarter of my health each turn, just between Whirlpool and Flame Orb. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. So he goes to his Glass Score here. I go for another Drain Punch because I really want my HP back. I kind of felt he was going to go to this, and I wanted to click Facade. It really wouldn't have mattered because he would have still been alive, but it would have allowed me to at least pressure his Glass Score. So instead, I have to go to my Caesar on this thing. I'm going to go... I know that he could either Earthquake me again, but I could Roost. So I feel like he's going to just U-turn, try to bring something else in. I'm going to catch him over with my own U-turn, get the momentum off, get my Latios in, and I'm going to make an ambitious play here. I'm going to switch out and go to my Crocodile because I know that's going to bait out this Caesar to go to Latios, because nothing else really wants to take a Draco Meteor on this team if it doesn't have to. And I revealed the Groundium Z Earthquake. Hit this Caesar for a huge chunk of change. Take a big piece of its health out, and that's not even factoring Stealth Rock when it comes back in later. so it's basically not going to be able to clear hazards. Caesar can only come in after something dies now, which is good for me. I let my Crocodile knock off on his Gliscor, get some damage, and kills it with U-turn. Brings in this Rotom Heat. I bring in my Mega Aerodactyl. Another ambitious play come in here because I feel like he's going to switch out and try to go to his Alomomola. So I catch that boy with the Pursuit. The Rotom Heat takes the Pursuit. He goes with his Alomomola. I obviously ain't got no business staying in on this thing, so I'm going to switch out. Go to my Conqueror once again. I could have gone to Primarina, but Primarina's asleep. I don't want to lose the momentum. It still has a turn of Sleep Talk left before it wakes up. So I just go to my Conqueror just so I can like threaten some things. I go for Drain Punch. He goes for Protect, obviously. I know he's not going to try to stand because he doesn't want me to heal my Conqueror up. So I'm going to flex on him with the Facade. Break down that Gliscor. Knock that thing straight down. He's going to go to his Caesar to try to revenge kill. But remember, well, actually, I think I was only reason I know I was faster is because, like I said, it looked like a default Caesar. My Conqueror actually runs max speed, so, you know, getting the Mach Punch off on a default Caesar wasn't too much of a hassle. He's going to go to his Alomomola here on this Latias. You know, he came in, he had to pretty much leave Rotom as Death Fodder now because of Stealth Rock. So I'm going to Draco Meteor again, put this Alomomola near death range, and I'm hoping he stays in to try to use Protect, but he's actually going to make a good play here. Switch out, go to his Conqueror, and it's going to receive the Wish from the Alomomola as I go to my Caesar. My Caesar is not healthy enough to take on this Conqueror, so I'm going to switch out, go to my Latias. I can't go to my Primarina because, like I said, that Facade is a dangerous move. I didn't want to have to lose my Latias, but I mean, the dude had a Weavile just chilling in the back anyway. He's going to go to his Alomomola once again. I go for Sleep Talk, hoping I could get a Moonblast and get some extra damage on this thing, but it just pulls Rest. Unfortunate. So he's going to throw up a Wish. I'm going to just hit the Moonblast. Critical hit, though. A critical hit that's going to have to force this man to use Protect. I switch out. I go to my Caesar, trying to capitalize on this man. His Rotom Heat is going to die on the switch into Stealth Rock, so Swords Dance is a very safe play right now. I mean, I could click Roost, but I'm not going to do that yet. I Swords Dance because it's a big threat to this Conqueror. However, I do know this man is max HP, and he can take a Bullet Punch from where he's at, so I just U-turn. I U-turn, I go to my Primarina, hope he doesn't hit me with the Facade. He realizes I'm a threat, so he has to go for the Drain Punch, which is fine by me because Primarina is safe for the time being at least. And he's going to switch out, he's going to sack his Rotom Heat as Death Fodder. I'm going to get a little bit of recovery from leftovers. He's going to bring in his Weavile. I believe this is Choice Band Weavile. However, I'm scared of what this thing might do. Like, I'm hoping he doesn't randomly have Poison Jab, so I actually just go straight to my Aerodactyl, take this knockoff. I go to my Caesar, realizing that this Weavile is not a problem anymore, and I Bullet Punch. Now, here's a play where I have to sit down and think, because he sends in his Conqueror. If I make a wrong play, I can lose either Primarina or Conqueror, and I need both of them to win this. I click Roost here because I realized I could survive a Drain Punch just barely. But at the very, like, I can survive a Drain Punch if I click Roost, and I could definitely survive a Facade. Like, that last turn, I mean, I didn't have enough time to explain that last turn, but that last turn was very crucial because I have a lot of time to think this through because, like I said earlier, his connection was bad. The timer was running out like crazy. I mean, this game was only 34 turns. It felt like 80. Because there were so many turns where he was just sitting there, taking forever to make a move. And there was one point where the timer had gotten down to 10 seconds. I was about to let that bad boy run out. But, you know, he asked me to turn it off earlier in the match. I decided to be a gentleman. I'm like, sure. But later on, he starts taking long again. I'm like, alright, man, this is crazy. Like, that turn where Conqueror was in on Caesar and I clicked Roost, like, just at the end. I was like, alright, dude, look, I'm putting this timer back on because I've been sitting there for like a solid like 4.5 minutes just about. But another player, Christo, comes in and tells me to turn the timer off, give this man some time. If I did not respect Christo as the guy who tutored me in UU, I would not have thought twice. I would have thought twice about it, but I decided to turn it off because I figured, you know, this is a good game, this is a good opponent. If I'm gonna win, let me at least do it with some honor. Like, let me take the hard way and still get a victory. That's on top of what I was thinking of during that turn where I clicked Roost. The reason why is because I could have clicked I could have clicked Bullet Punch. Okay, I could have clicked Bullet Punch. It would not have killed his Conqueror. However, Facade at the HP range I was at would have killed me. It would have killed Primarina. It wouldn't have been favorable for me if that happened. I could have switched in Primarina on the Conqueror, hoping he went for Drain Punch. But like I said, I knew Facade was the play he had to go with because it killed my Caesar. The range he was at, it would have killed Primarina upon switching in, and I would have pretty much been able to win him the game. However, I was aware that Caesar could take a Facade very easily. You know, in Roost, I would have pretty much gotten a lot of HP back. If he'd gone for Drain Punch, I still would have been able to survive it, though it wouldn't have been favorable for me. To say the least, it would not have been very favorable at all. But worst come to worst, I would have at least been able to revenge kill with Primarina, and then, you know, get into the one-on-one with Alamomola versus Primarina. That's kind of what I was expecting. But what had happened instead was, after I clicked Roost on the Conqueror, you know, I went for Bullet Punch. I could have just gone for U-turn, hoping to get the safe Primarina switch in, but once again, I did not want to risk losing Primarina because I felt like that was going to be ultimately the key to winning the game. And so I was willing to let Caesar go down, so I went for Bullet Punch on the Conqueror, knowing it wasn't going to kill, knowing he could have Drain Punched to get his health back, but he instead had switched to his Alamomola, and that's where he realizes that this game is done. So he had forfeited, you know, and that was it. So, you know, like I said, good game, Badabing. Great game, honestly, great series. You know, as my cousin Mark used to say, bada bing, bada boom. Nah, but for real, I hate saying this, but even though I've been dead for like a week, really busy with work and stuff, after finally giving you guys a video, and I mean, it's somewhat new content, even though I used the same teams as I had done in the last video that I put up. It's unfortunate, but I'm going to be going out of town this coming week, as in like tomorrow night. As of this video, today's Tuesday, I'm leaving for town Wednesday night this week, and I'm not going to be back until next week, so I'm not going to be able to upload anything until next week. But, you know, round 2 is on its way. Stay tuned for the juicier round 2 footage. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite. Stay tuned for the next video when it comes out. I swear it will. You gotta bear with me. But for now, hang in there. Peace.